Welcome back to the JTF Show podcast. I'm your host, Jason Selton. There's just a lot of things with Buddhism I just don't agree with. Like the hypocrisy of liberation. Now, to me, I think the Buddha and Buddhism in general is sort of an alt, or you can say, radical libertarianism. Pretty much alt and or I wouldn't say alt, radical libertarianism for me is that you try to liberate so much that you try to liberate literally anything and everything that is to be liberated. But at the end of the day, not you'll never be liberated from anything or everything because you always cling to something. Like you're for some Buddhists and Buddhism in general, from what I've known, they are clinging to something. They are clinging to something. They are bound by something, and that's the clinging of not clingingness. You're clinging, or you're bound by the idea, in a sense of a way, to liberate all worldly things. That is essentially, by your definition, clinging to something. You're paying attention to something maybe more than anything else, which is a clinging, which is you're sort of bound by that. Like you're bound by the love of your parents, something that you shouldn't let go, something that can really not really never, you know, you can really never let go of it that much. But according to Buddhism, maybe you can, but you really can't. In some cases, maybe for some families, sadly, but most of the majorities of families, they're bound by their love. You can't liberate that, really. Unless if you, of course, run away and pretty much do child neglect or all that, because, you have a, you have a spiritual awakening, but if you knew that you, like, if you knew that you need a spiritual awakening, why did you marry? Why did you have a kid? And I'm talking about Buddha, the Buddha in general, because he had a kid, he had a wife, but he ran away, and that would be child neglect, and his son was fatherless, but of course somebody most likely replaced Buddha in a father figure way, because, I mean, Buddha just, I guess, wasn't ready for a family, and I'm I'm reading now the teachings of the Buddha from Internet Archives. It's audio. I'm on, I think, page 20. And yeah, pretty much there are some things that I missed and some things I didn't say. Buddha did knew death, old age, and sickness. So there's that. But like, like, if I'm correct, I think this was I think they said 12. I don't remember. But I think he was sitting somewhere where he saw. No. Sorry. This is also sort of not true of what I said. His Buddha's dad did take him outside of the castle or the palace. He didn't lock him up till he was 16. I'm sorry about that, guys. This is why it is best to do more research and stuff like that. Sorry for spreading out sort of false information, but pretty much everything else was pretty much the same. And even the author said that his mind was troubled by what he saw about a bird catching a worm, pretty much. And he went from why did the bird do that to pretty much why does humanity need to do this, pretty much. Why does animals need to kill animals and all that? And I remember, if I'm correct, this was in a young age. This was in a young age. So all of that, plus everything else that he pretty much thought about in this way, because he was saying like there are two types of people and all that sort of in the sense of the way he was saying that. This was, I think, before he knew the middle path. But anyways, if you're doing all that and throughout your life you were thinking of that, why is humanity so corrupt and all that, and, you're not ready for a family. So I don't know why the Buddha, his name was, I think, it wasn't Saitama, it was something else. It wasn't Saitama, sorry about that, guys. It was something else. I'm just gonna call him the Buddha in this case. The like the Buddha's father gave to him, I think, when he was 19. It said his wife, and I think they said, I don't think they said right after that they had a child. It was most likely maybe a few years or months. I do not know that, which is also a little bit. You know what? Never mind. I know. Actually, I think I will say it. That that's a little bit weird because intimacy, child, which gets into more of, I guess you could say, speculation or just a thought here, not conspiracy theory, but it's a thought here. If Buddha was thinking of this, most likely think of liberation as well, of everything and anything. Why would he do intimacy and then, birth a child? Maybe they did adoption? I don't know. I guess there was an exception? I don't like. I'm, I'm just saying from what I've known. How would he even get. How would he even birth the. How would he even get a child if he was contemplating with himself and he was saying, why is humanity all this? So, like, I mean, I just don't get it. He could have said, I want a divorce, or no, Dad, I don't want a wife right now. I'm confused. I don't know the meaning of life and death and all that. So I'm like, how come he could have done it the right way, not married, get his spiritual awakening, and maybe marry? I guess I need to know more history of it. I guess it was an arranged marriage, and back then with arranged marriages, if I'm correct, they did say it was an arranged marriage between another kingdom. I think the brother or cousin of the Buddha's mom's kingdom. So there is that. I guess it was arranged. And if I'm correct, back then you couldn't really just divorce or in that way. I mean, because he was the prince, he needs to, continue the bloodline, which he didn't. But I'm not really gonna get into that. Then he ran away because I guess he just had enough and he couldn't even say goodbye or even like write a letter. I mean, I'm just saying he could have written a letter. I'm just saying, but pretty much to say all that, what I was trying to say is that there isn't really any true liberation in some cases. In this case, you cannot liberate anything and everything, because when you try to do that, you are clinging to something. You're clinging to the idea of liberating anything and everything, radical libertarianism. So, at the end of the day, you can never really liberate anything at the end of the day. And I don't think Buddhists or Buddha in general necessarily said that they were trying to liberate anything and everything. I think they were just trying to liberate people from I think the demon Mara's illusion of the ignorance of humanity and, the lust and all that. Humanity's fallen thing, and we need to liberate that by pretty much clinging to meditation. Meditation, that would be in Buddhism's definition of clinging or bondage. You're bound by the idea that you have to meditate to be liberated. But at the end of the day, you're still not liberated. So that's why I'm saying you can nobody can ever really be liberated by something, because you're always going to cleave or cling to an idea at the end of the day. And again, this is radical liberalization, not liberalization in general. There is true liberalism. There's true liberalization, and that's, well, for some people like me, that's through Jesus Christ. For others, it's Krishna, and yeah. So there's that. With Buddhism, it doesn't just. I don't think it really I don't think it really draws the line of liberation. I mean, where does the line drawn? Buddhists, leave in the comments down below if you're Buddhist. Where does the line drawn of liberation? Exactly. Because I don't think it was really specified or specifically liberation of mankind. I think it was anything and everything that would be a bondage, which you can't do, because you'll always be bound by something, either an idea or other things, or sadly slavery. But you can free yourself from any form of slavery. You can liberate yourself or liberate others. But like this, where does the line drawn? Well, Christianity, there is a line drawn. You shouldn't, or you can't liberate yourself from morality or love. I mean, you can, but it would be bad. I mean, you know, and it's not wrong to cling or to be bound, not in a like rope slavery like way, but in a way of, the the like bound by love, stuff like that. You cling to your wife, stuff like that. That's what I mean by you know. And you can cling to somebody who will never let go in a good way, and that is Jesus Christ. So this caster cares on him and cling to him, be bound in his love, not ropes or anything like that. Again, nothing like that. But it's in general, I mean by be bound by his love, be like, cling to it. Like a marriage ring that symbolizes you guys are bound by love. Something like that, obviously, just to clarify. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. This was like just in my mind, and I'm like, maybe I should say something about this. It really. Read the book, The Teachings of the Buddha. Got from Internet Archives, not a shout out. This is an ad for Internet Archives. I'm just telling you where I got my research and my stuff from Internet Archives. I trust it. I think it's a reliable source. So, yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. God bless and have a great day.